Hello, JP.
Hi, Inge.
It's very nice to finally have you here in front of the Cash Game Festival cameras.
Thank you.
So, most likely our viewers know your name. They know who you are because you've been active in the Irish poker scene for quite a while now. But still, would you give us a little introduction about you and poker? How did you first enter the poker scene, and what made you found the Green Village Poker Club that we are in at the moment?
So I was an avid poker player, not at a good standard, but I used to enjoy playing cards with my friends. I started playing cards with my family at like a young age, 6 years of age. So I started the poker business 12 years ago. When I originally started, I was doing games in like hotels and say some sports clubs and bars. And then we opened this club five years ago. Prior to that, I used to do a lot of events around Europe, and I was doing quite a bit of traveling. The year before I opened the club was the year my first child was born. And his first year, I was away for like 3 weeks every month.
Wow.
So I kind of said, let's open my own club instead of working for someone else all the time.
Yes, I understand.
So that was it.
And how hard was it for you to found this your card club?
Believe it or not, I actually had been trying to get this venue for 3 years prior to this. This used to be a gym.
Okay.
I was actually a member of this gym, and the gym moved down the road. But the owner of the gym had spent like a 6 or 7 million on a new gym, but left this venue idle with nothing in it, and was happy to pay the rent.
Yes.
The pub across the way, Malloy's pub, I used to work there as a barman for years when I was in college, and the owner of the pub actually owns this premises. So eventually when the gym here handed the lease back to Kevin Malloy, I got it off him then.
Do you still go to that same gym now? The one that's across the road?
I haven't been going to the gym in a while.
Okay. Tell us, we know that you're involved with quite many quite high caliber poker events in Ireland. Would you tell us about the events that you've been involved with over the years?
So, as I mentioned, across Europe, I used to work for Barry Casino Group in France. I worked for them for a number of years, and I worked with Poker Stars for quite a few years. The two kind of events that I work strongly with at the moment is the Norwegian Poker Championships. So I first worked on that 9 years ago in Riga, and then it's been come to Dublin. This year will be the 7th year, I believe, that it comes to Dublin. It's an amazing event. We have 2,000 Norwegians come over.
Oh, wow.
We have like 150 tables, like 70 cash tables. Then 2 years ago, so the Irish Open, which is the second oldest poker tournament in the world after the World Series and Europe's oldest poker tournament. For a number of years I've been trying to merge the two events together. The Irish Open, the numbers, the buy-in was at 3,500, and the numbers had kind of dwindled down for a number of years because the economy hadn't been doing so well. And Paddy Power, which is a bookmakers, owned the event. In the end, their focus kind of turned away from poker, and actually myself and one of my business partners, we bought the Irish Open from Paddy Power 2 years ago. So we kind of remodeled the event. We lowered the buy-in to 1150 and put a $500,000 guarantee on it. So we've been doing that now for 2 years. In our first year, with no sponsors, we got 802 players, which was a new record for the Irish Open. And then this year we got 1,129 players, which again was a new record for the Irish Open. So yeah, that's my main project that I work on for the whole year.
What's your opinion on the situation in Irish poker right now? What's going on in Ireland in general? Where it's heading?
Poker, there's quite a lot of poker on. Because of the legal situation with poker, so there's no casino license per se in Ireland. We all operate in a private members club, which has advantages and has disadvantages. One of the disadvantages, no big casino chain comes into Ireland because they're unwilling to maybe invest a large sum of money to build like a super casino. I guess the advantages from it is the regulation. It's quite easy to run an event. You can just get in touch with a hotel, as long as you organise and get the players there. So for that purposes, Ireland is a very attractive venue for a lot of online sites. So right now, at this moment in time, we're in the middle of a big festival season. So since the start of September to the first week of November, every week bar one, there's some sort of festival on. So yeah, this poker is it's kind of in our blood. Betting and in Ireland is in our blood, and poker certainly is something that's very strong at the moment.
Sounds like a good place to be when you like to do poker. What is your opinion on the Cash Game Festival's format?
Well, this is my second Cash Game Festival. I was in Gibraltar. The concept is fantastic. When I was in Gibraltar, we were only there for 2 days and we had a bit of business to take care of, so we didn't participate in the activities. But at this event, I've gone to all the activities, and the key difference to the event, especially for players who are travelling, so normally you're tied down to your tournament schedule, your tournament structure. So if you make day 2 of the tournament, you have to come back in at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
So any of the players that come to a city, they tend to just spend their whole time here in a casino or the venue where the poker is. But with the Cash Game Festival, every day there's a different activity on, which is fantastic. Like we went off and we played the football golf here one of the days, and then we went to the dogs track. So there's a lot of cool things put on by the Cash Game Festival that Andros and Frankie take care of.
Yes.
To make the experience of the players that travel to the event as best as possible. So yeah, it's really cool.
Thank you. So now maybe let's move a bit more to your personal life. I mean, to your life outside poker. We know that you love football.
Yes.
Would you tell our viewers what's your current activity in football?
So I coach underage children. My son, Killian, who's 6, wanted to get into football, so I brought him up to my local club, Raccoon Boys, which has been going for 40 years. We've like 22 underage kids teams. Sorry. And anyway, when I went, they had like they were 4 years of age, and there was like 60 kids, and it was like pandemonium. And so one of the coaches asked me could I come and help with them. They asked a couple of parents to help. So I've been doing that now for just over 2 years. Wow. Yeah, so we coach 4-year-olds to 8-year-olds.
You seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's
How on earth do you find time for it?
It's like anything else. If you enjoy it, you're going to make the time. But
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And also, earlier this week, we had a nice conversation with your lovely wife, and she was telling the story that there was an Irish man who met American woman and made the American woman into an Irish woman. What was the story? How did you meet her?
So when I was in college, I used to travel every summer and go to different countries and work. So I went to the States in '99 and again in 2001 on the student visa.
Yes.
Back then it wasn't the days of smartphones, and to communicate with your friends back home it was like email.
Yes.
But we didn't have internet cafe where we were.
Yeah.
So the place that we would go to use the internet was in the library.
Yes.
So my wife Christine was working in the library,
Yes.
and I met her in the library.
Yes.
So there, and rock on, a few years later she moved over to Ireland.
And she does not seem to regret it at all that
she likes it.
Made the move.
I'm not
Yes.
so sure if she likes the weather, but she likes it.
As far as I remember, she did not complain about the weather once.
Okay.
So she must be very happy here.
I think so.
But thank you very much, JP, and thank you very much for having us here at your very cozy Village Green Card Club. And we hope to see you again next year.
Thank you, Inge. I believe you will be back next year. Yeah, it's been my pleasure.